Let's talk 5G. You guys have a telco cloud that you're talking about here, and that's, I know you've been talking about it for a while, but a lot of people don't understand the rationale behind it, the idea of bridging 4G and 5G. What does this allow?
Well, what it really is about is saying, hey, over the last decade and a half, we've gotten pretty good at building clouds. Why can't we build the telco network like the clouds have been built for scalability, flexibility, efficiency, agility? And that's really the idea of the telco cloud. As people go to what's called NFV, this network function virtualization, and as they're looking ahead to 5G services, can't we have a new architecture for building the cloud, the telco cloud? But it also is flexible, scalable, and helps them do services between 4G and 5G. So it helps them bridge as they build these new services. They can run them on the old, as well as prepare services for the new.
How big is this addressable market that you haven't necessarily had before?
Yeah, and the data center market, the telco market is like 80% the size of the data center and cloud market. This is big. So it's a huge adjacent market that largely we've never touched before. So we're really excited about that. And if you think about what we've done, John, it's about building this rock hard infrastructure that never goes down, because data centers, businesses, banks running it. Hey, telco networks, they need rock hard, never goes down infrastructure. So we really find a huge opportunity.
We've started to talk about the 5G rollout in terms of specific timing. We've got launch cities in the US from AT&T and Verizon. We're just talking to Ericsson today about different rollout paces in the markets that he's addressing. But I'm not clear on the follow-on effects on software and networking, and at what stage that really starts to ramp through a 5G effect. What should we expect?
Yeah, I've said for a few years that I think 2020 is the year.
Yeah.
Right, and I think when you feel a show like this, everybody's starting to really gear up. The trials are underway. The early markets, little test cases. Maybe we'll do a edge use case here, or we'll do a fixed use case there, or we'll do a service here. I really see it. 2020 is really where it's going to happen. Right now, the national anthem is playing. Next year, the game gets started.
Geographically, US and China get talked about as the strongest markets. And interesting, the Vodafone CEO said that if Huawei gets banned in Europe, it could set back their rollout as much as 5 years. What's your take on the impact of some of these controversies around equipment and its impact on the market that you're looking to build into?
Yeah, and it's hard to say how much it's going to impact, and obviously people who have large positions with Huawei today, it becomes easy to add 5G onto it, so somewhat it's dependent on carrier and market. Our view of what we're trying to do with virtualization is minimize unique dependencies on any particular hardware market. So part of our value proposition exactly helps customers navigate through the 4G to 5G transition, as well as picking different key hardware vendors. That's what that virtualization layer does. So we think we actually help customers, and Vodafone is a huge partner of ours and one that we're working very deeply with.
I hear from some CEOs that we are in a period where people are buying for efficiency rather than growth. So still buying, but maybe focusing a little bit more on cost savings, perhaps signaling some kind of a slowdown. Are you seeing that as well?
Well, we think that the opportunity is actually both. You have to have efficiency. Right. If you're going to be a cloud, you got to be efficient. So, and that helps the bottom line, right? Building more cost efficiency, operational efficiency. So you have to do that. But ultimately, it's about the new services that 5G is going to introduce.
But have you seen a shift in customers, not even just talking about 5G, but overall, what you're offering? Have you seen a shift in the conversation, the sale, the close toward, boy, I really want to be more efficient versus I'm looking to go after new opportunities with my technology?
Would say we definitely see both, but efficiency generally is coming before the discussions. If I don't have that, I'm not prepared for rolling out those new services because I don't have the architecture, I don't have the scale to go do it. So it really has to be both, but generally efficiencies come first.
I want to ask you about the search for talent, particularly in Silicon Valley. The labor market is tight. Is it getting tighter, or are you pretty much in the same groove that you've been in?
I'd say we're pretty much the same. We feel like we always have to compete for talent every single day of the week. But as VMware has risen, as we've gotten more prominent, I feel we've become a more attractive place. And clearly with some of the other controversies going on right in the Valley, people have said, oh, you're a good company. You're doing a good job, and we're excited to be part of your culture. It's really gone quite well for us.
Speaking of culture, I want to get your take on Amazon New York City. I mean, you guys have been expanding. I think Atlanta is a city where you've done a bunch of expansion. Have the rules changed or the playbook on how you need to approach a city in this environment, given the politics, frankly?
Yeah, I think for a company of their size, it became highly, speculated right at that level. We're not at that scale, but everyone is looking, saying, okay, are you good? Right? Do you do well and do good? Right? Are you a culture that we want? And clearly in a bit of a tech-lash environment, there's just more scrutiny on these things going on. So I think all of us needs to navigate, and clearly as tech has become a bigger portion of the Dow, the bigger portion of people's lives, the expectations on us as an industry need to go up commensurate with that, and we need to respond commensurate with that, which I don't think we've done yet as an industry.